2 on this date. Look at the overnight lows. Look how mild they're going to be. 77 for the overnight low tonight. That is warm, and that means with an early start to the heat tomorrow, 106 our forecast high on Tuesday. That would blast by the old record high, which is 101, set back in 2021. Tuesday night's overnight low 77. We could set record temperatures for low temperatures too. Record warm low temperatures, a distinct possibility. Wednesday's record high 103, set back in 1967. We're looking at 104 there, so that would set a new record. And close to a record on Thursday. Our record high temperature on Thursday is 104 degrees, set back in 2008. We're going to be close to that on Thursday. A little bit cooler on Friday, back down to normal temperatures on Saturday and Sunday. It is going to be hot. And that's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
This Monday morning, Street Talking Other Stuff. Mike, Mad Dog Magnati. Hey, it's August. Oh, love these months, summer. And stop saying that summer's almost over. It's not. You know, September might be cool at night, but it's still hot during the day. So, come on, we got lots of summer left, and I love it. It's great. But hey, thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate you being here. I have got a cool show today. I have got people who I like to refer to as Wenatchee icons on.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Seriously. Because, you know, this is a great community. It's a wonderful place to live. I love it. As you know, I'm a transplant from New Jersey, but Wenatchee is my home. Always will be, but one of the reasons that we have such a great community to live in is because of folks like who I'm going to have on today. So hey, stick around, it's going to be good. But just a couple things beforehand. I'm really a fan of some instrumental rock groups that do not sing at all, such as The Ventures, a Tacoma group. The Ventures are great. And did you know, though, that there was a rock group that has 4 guys that can't sing? Sure. They're called Mount Rushmore. And you know why bad singers are like pirates? Because they murder on the high seas. I crack myself up.
You do, don't you?
Oh, but hey, thanks for tuning in. We're going to take a quick break and come back, but stick around. Street Talking Other Stuff. Mike Mad Dog Magnati. We will be right back. So.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting.
I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Local cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
off, I'm very happy to introduce my guest today. First, Ron Lodge. Ron, nice to have you, buddy. Okay. And Ron's daughter, Jeanne. Oh, I'm sorry. Ron's wife, Jeanne's with us today. How are you?
You do that all the time, don't you?
Well, yeah. You know,
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Thanks for coming on. So, how things going? How's life?
Great.
Good.
Great.
All right.
Staying busy.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, I know that many people watching probably know you, but some don't. So just tell us a little bit about yourselves. Family, history in town, you know, what you're interested in, stuff going on.
We're talking about us?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to talk about pineapple on pizza. I thought that was the topic.
Excuse me? There's no such thing. Okay, if you put pineapple on it, it becomes a fruit pie. It is not pizza. Do not push that button again at your peril.
Okay, let's talk about roundabouts. No.
I don't mind roundabouts so much, okay? But the reason he brings that up is because my wife, Rosemary, cannot approach a roundabout without totally losing her. I mean, it's like I have to. One time I stopped the guy, looked at her and said, I know how to drive to a roundabout. That guy doesn't, okay?
It can be intimidating for some people.
Oh, I know. Well, they're a problem.
Well, back to us.
Yeah, back to us.
You started this.
We diverged.
You started this.
So we met at Wenatchee Valley College.
Okay, cool.
And I'm a lifer here. I was born here in Wenatchee in 1955, and my dad owned Wenatchee Cycle and Toy. Many of you remember that store. Mm-hmm. And I started working in that when I was in 6th grade.
That was called the Schwinn Shop,
The
right?
Schwinn Shop, yep. I set up bicycles for 40 cents an hour.
Yeah, whoa.
And that was a lot of money when I was 12.
I remember those days.
That's pretty good wages.
Yeah.
But, and then Jeanne is a way later arrival. She came when she was 5, 6.
Oh, yeah, into Wenatchee. Yes, I was 5.
Yeah, where'd you come from?
California. I was born in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
Came from California. We had a marriage split up and ended up with my dad here in Wenatchee.
Okay, all right.
I have a twin sister, and we were together. So,
had you ever been to Wenatchee before? Or what made your dad decide to come to Wenatchee?
Well, my father was living in Minnesota for a while, and then he married my stepmom and moved to Wenatchee when he became part of the Washington State Apple Commission.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. Okay.
He used to travel around and sell fruit.
Okay. Okay, but your dad lived here, owned the Schwinn Shop downtown. Mm-hmm. I remember it was 200 block South Wenatchee Avenue.
Yep.
Remember it very well.
Yep.
But he did something else, didn't he?
My dad?
Yeah. Besides just the bike shop, didn't he have a key making business?
Well, yeah, that
sounds so mysterious.
Yeah.
Oh, key making business.
Something I don't know about my dad.
I'm talking about your life here. Okay, sorry, I know more about it than you do.
So yeah, my dad. So the real quick history is he started there. He moved here in 1936, and started working there in 1938, and this was of course during the Depression. And he was making $5 a week, and that was even below FDR's minimum wage that he had done at the time. But jobs were scarce, and so he started putting bikes together and doing that. And the owner passed away, and the widow took over the store, and my dad ultimately purchased the store from the widow in, I think, about 1943.
Was it in the same location?
Same location it is, yeah, 228 South Wenatchee. And it was bicycles, kind of hobbies, some sporting goods back then. And he's the one that kind of shifted it over to the toy store, and it became Wenatchee Cycle and Toy. And the story goes along in about 1948. Someone came in and sold him a key machine and some keys and said, here's a good side business. So, he started cutting keys in 1948, and that developed into the locksmith side of the business.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's what I find is interesting, is that, he had the two businesses, and one of them was the side business. But we'll talk about that in a minute, how you guys have built it into, this, what do you call it? This conglomerate.
Oh, no.
We call it our business.
Let's see. Still a small business.
Oh, good. No, I'm a small business.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right.
Got it.
Okay, now how about, a little bit about you, I mean,
well, nothing too extraordinary, except that, I came from a big family. I had lots of, well, so did he. He was the baby of the big family, and I was close to the baby.
So when you say big, how many?
Well, siblings altogether, half steps,
Okay.
reels, whatever you want to call them. A 7.
Oh, well, that's a
7 of
good
us.
size. Okay.
But, you know, we ranged in age, so we weren't all living at the same house. But my father and mother were Evelyn and Ed Musoff.
Okay.
My dad was well known in in the fruit industry around here, and worked with New Chief and various other occasions. Anyway, so I went to school at Wenatchee Valley College because I was a musician and I wanted to learn more, but I couldn't afford big college.
Sure.
So that's when I met Ron, and we got kind of involved, both music and into the business.
Okay, but you guys met in singing in the same choir, right?
Yep, in the same
Yep,
choir.
under Dick Lapo.
We sang in a small,
Back in the day.
Oh, that's a name that goes
group
back
called
away.
the
Yeah, cool.
Madrigal Singing Group.
Okay, remember them. So what was it? You're standing there in the choir and you're kind of like...
Well,
No.
seriously, we were just friends.
We were really good
we were
friends.
choir mates. We just became good friends.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do we want to tell them about the trip to Reno?
Oh,
Yes. You got to now.
So Dick took our jazz choir.
Yeah.
There was a jazz choir festival in Reno, Nevada.
Okay.
And we went down there. I had gone the year before with a group, and then this next year we went down and we were carpooling. And so kids were, you know, I can take 3 people, I can take this. I had a little Fiat convertible. I go, I can take 1. And so Jeannie goes,
Oh, I see what's going on here. Oh, yeah. I can take one. Who might that one be that I can take? All right,
no, I didn't
No,
choose
I actually
her.
volunteered, so,
She
yeah.
volunteered to go with me.
I
See,
like this girl.
I think she had ideas way before I did. You know,
No.
guys are kind of, I don't know.
Anywho.
But things clicked on the trip. And
cool.
so we went down as friends, came back as boyfriend, girlfriend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And how long you been married again?
46 years.
All right.
Yep,
All right.
yep.
Glad that.
46 is a good number.
I know, that's incredible. Yeah, we'll hit 46 in September too, if we make it. So far, so good. Yeah, but cool. All right. So what? When you first were together, what were you still working at the bike shop? I mean, what was life like when you first started?
Well,
have you always lived here in Wenatchee?
I always have, like I say, and she has since she was 5
but since
years
you've been
old.
married, I mean.
So yeah. So I grew
We
up
have
at my.
business. We're stuck.
Okay.
So that's the way it is.
I grew up at my folks' house on Franklin Street, and when we got married, my dad had passed away when I was in high school. So actually, my sister and I were kind of running the store. My mom owned it, but really she was kind of doing the bookkeeping and keeping an eye on things. But really, my sister Andrea and I were doing the work of. I kind of drifted toward the locksmith side of the business, and Andrea was doing the bicycle side. And we eventually split the business off the year after we got married. We had moved the locksmith department next door.
Okay, so you actually, before you split, had moved just the key making machine into actually doing locksmith work.
Yeah.
Okay. Was that stuff you were doing yourself? I mean, locksmithing is kind of complicated.
Yeah. And like I say, my dad taught me. I was 17 when he passed away. So starting at about age 14, he took me under his wing and taught me the actual locksmith business. And so after he passed away, I was it for a while.
Yeah.
And I wish I could find this old ad. I had, kind of like you, I had hair down to my shoulders, had a handlebar mustache, and I looked like a hippie, but I wasn't. But I remember I was wearing a blue denim jacket, and there's a picture of me by the key machine with a Wenatchee World, little headline. It was an advertisement, but it said, "This man is considered to be the best locksmith in North Central Washington."
Based on whose opinion?
Mine.
Yes.
All right.
So anyway, when we got married, and actually just even the year before, she came into the business and actually started working at the bicycle shop. I was still working on the, so she set up Schwinn Bicycles and went to Schwinn Mechanic School.
Right.
But eventually she came over and we built, the business together. And she really became the manager of the business. I was out doing service calls. Yeah. And so she was mostly in the store, but she ran service calls too.
Okay.
Well, he was the technician, and so we wanted to make sure that the quality of the work stayed the way it needed to. But it was kind of interesting being a female in that industry in the 70s and 80s.
Being a female in charge in any industry in the 70s would have been an interesting position. So, well, cool. Well, good for you.
So we'd get some pretty interesting looks. I would get some pretty interesting looks, and people looking around me and wanting to see, you know, the man.
Right. When is the real locksmith going to show up?
Absolutely.
Yes,
that line was actually said.
That was said many times.
Okay.
And she would respond with, "Oh, you mean one of these guys that I trained?"
Well, that's
good for you.
After we ended up with employees.
There you go.
But anyway, he was a technician, so somebody had to run the business, and so that's what I mean, I studied hard and researched and learned. You know, I had to follow all the rules of the state. Well, back then it was much easier than it is today, because you've just got to have full-time people doing.
Okay, so locksmithing is regulated by.
No, she just means
itself.
The business.
Yeah, employment.
Keeping the books.
Keeping the books, paying the taxes, you know, the usual. No, locksmithing isn't necessarily, but it was when we went into security, you know, going into the electronic security, that's when it's a little more complicated and stuff. So, but he was always a technician, and so good at what he did. He was not only in locksmithing, you have to work with keys and opening car doors and safes, but he also had to manufacture things. He had to make stuff to do the work that we had to do. Sometimes.
Really?
He had to make his own tools.
Like, what did you have to make? You know, I mean,
you remember that back that far, babe?
Well, one of the things my dad left behind was a little lathe, and I remember using the lathe to recreate like hinge pins for safes and vaults.
Okay, all right, interesting.
And that kind of thing, that they were obsolete and you couldn't order replacement parts. And I would make some little tools for specific things. Take a wrench and grind it down and bend it and modify it. We had a torch and all that kind of stuff too. And so I did a little bit of machining and welding and all that.
And somebody had to clean up after him too. So
oh, really?
That's
Who might that be?
That was my job.
You know, actually, I stand in awe of guys like you, because if suddenly everyone in the world was gone and it was just me and a few other people and we had to rebuild civilization, we'd be lucky to figure out how to plant corn. Because I don't know anything. Really, so that's great. Well, hey, we were talking with Ron and Jeanne Lodge, okay? You may know them, that they run the Keyhole Security, but they've been around quite some time. Great people. These are the folks that help make our community a great place to live. And we're going to talk a little bit more about stuff other than just the business bit in a minute. But hey, going to take a break. Street Talk and other stuff. You stick around. We will be right back. So.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Uh-oh! Les Schwab Tires is too. Because Les Schwab fixes brakes, steering, and more. See those guys? They just do tires. Eyes ahead, Dad! Look, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Blinker, I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first. Watch, they're gonna come greet me.
Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Few things strike fear in the human heart, like the possibility of a rattlesnake bite. Dogs can encounter rattlesnakes on their walks or in their yards, and being curious, often get bitten on their face, neck, and legs. Luckily, a vaccination is available to help neutralize venom so dogs experience less pain and swelling. Even if your dog has received a vaccine, you still need to seek immediate help. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff of Paws and Claws care about your pet's health. Call 888-PAWS to schedule your vaccination today.
Badger Mountain Brewery is your cure for boredom. Jam Night Mondays. Trivia Wednesdays. Live Music Fridays. And Sunday Brunch. There's always something brewing at Badger Mountain, so come join the party.
Hi, everybody. Dan Coos alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. There's ice on my heat pump and under my heat pump.
Well, ice under your heat pump is normal. When we go into a defrost cycle, it melts the frost off, creates water, which freezes to the ground. Ice around your heat pump is a thing that you should probably give us a call about.
Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks.
Okay, we are back. Street Talk and other stuff. Talking with Ron and Jeanne Lodge. Of course, they own and operate the Keyhole Security, but there's another side of your life that is very important, which you actually do the work at the Keyhole so you can support the other part of your life, which is the music scene here in town, right? So you met in a choir.
We met in a choir, and we've been singing together ever since.
Okay, what kind of stuff? You know, what kind of...
Well, playing together, too.
Tell us stuff that you've been, tell us about the music part, the artistic part of your contribution to the involvement in our community.
The thing that's been consistent since even before we were married is singing and playing together at church. And so we both were church musicians before we met, and we have been ever since. We've belonged to 3 different churches since we've been married, and at each one of those, not the whole times we were there, but at portions of times, we've served as, I was the accompanist, organist, she was the choir director, music director, and worship team leader. So that's just been a part of our life, and we're not one of those people that wake up on Sunday morning and go, gee, should we go to church today?
Yeah, it's just, well, if we're on vacation.
Yeah, right, we gotta go.
We gotta go, we're getting paid for it, but it's part of our life, and it's very important to us. So I'd say that's the primary thing. Secondarily, then we've got our other community groups. We're both in Columbia Chorale. Right. I'm the accompanist for Columbia Chorale.
And you have, don't you have somebody new taking over Columbia Chorale?
Well, we're in an interim year. Our conductor, Mike Hibbett, just retired after 23 years as our conductor.
Yes.
And Dan Jackson, who most people know, is just doing an interim year.
Okay, because I'm going to contact him pretty soon and ask him to come on and talk about it. So,
yeah, he just said he'd step in for this year. The board wasn't quite ready to, just, hey, let's hurry up and find someone permanent. So we're going to do an interim year, and they'll start the search again.
Couldn't have a better choice.
Yeah, so Dan will do a great job, and I'm looking forward to playing. I actually accompanied under him at the high school the last couple of years that he was there. So that was a good experience.
Did you play for West Side Story?
No.
You didn't?
No, but I...
missed the one I was in.
I know.
How long ago? Because I played in the pit orchestra.
Yeah, Jeanne did a lot of pit orchestra.
Oh, the first time?
She may have played in it.
The first time you did it?
The first time.
Yeah,
you did play in it.
I was Lieutenant Schrank.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. I played sax and flute.
Yeah.
So I play in pit orchestras, and I also play in symphony on second flute. During the 80s, 90s, I was the principal flute. And I played in big band quite a while during those times. Now I'm part of a flute choir that Suzanne Carr has set up, and it's great. We have anywhere from 20 to 25 flutists in this town.
Really?
Yes, we have a lot of flute players in this town. It's great.
Well, you guys both have been involved in music theater Wenatchee productions too, right? Playing with them sometimes?
Yeah. She's done way more than I have. I was reluctant to get into pit orchestras. It just wasn't my thing. Yeah. And I think it was it Wizard of Oz, the first one? One of those. No, Mamma Mia. I think it was Mamma Mia that our son Matt was the director. And he needed he needed 4 keyboard players. Yeah. That was all that ABBA music, and it was all synthesizer, and so he needed 4 keyboard players. He says, Dad, I can't find 4 keyboard players. I said, oh, okay, I'll do it. And then he did Wizard of Oz.
He probably hadn't even looked. He probably just came and said, Dad, I need you to help me.
Well, and I've played under
But she's played a lot of them.
She should remember them all.
Music theater, Wenatchee High School, Leavenworth Summer Theater.
But recently, well, we haven't been doing much recently, but the last one that Mac did, or the one before Mamma Mia, but I can't remember what it was. Anyway.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
I actually learned how to play more instruments to be able to
Really?
play that
Okay.
way, so it was fun.
Now, you know my son-in-law, Ted Scanlon.
Yeah, and I played
guitar
with
player.
Ted too. Sorry.
He does the same thing, you know. I once,
Yeah, he was sitting right by me in Mamma Mia.
We both played with him, so, I mean,
No, but I was, when I directed Streetcar Named Desire, I had an idea of maybe having a roving saxophone player, and I asked Ted if he played the sax, and he said, if you get me a saxophone, I will learn it.
Oh, wow.
So I actually looked for one, but they're...
They are expensive.
Instruments are not cheap. Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. So how do you feel when you get that artistic urge? Do you ever just say, I've got to do something now because my artistic expression needs to be demonstrated? Do you ever get that feeling?
Well, sure. I mean, it's part of who we are.
Yeah.
And we couldn't imagine a life without music in some form, whether it's instrumental or vocal, singing, church, community things.
I love learning new praise songs, worship songs.
Yeah.
It's part of my DNA now.
Sure.
I love practicing my flute, and he writes music. So he's a composer.
I've composed and arranged several choral pieces for mostly for the chorale.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go home to listen to music, and you tell Alexa to play something, I don't know if you have an Alexa in your house.
Not yet.
Okay, all right. Well, be careful because they're listening in.
Yeah.
But what would you play? What do you like to listen to? What's the genre of music that, you know?
Well, you want to hear what I like?
Yes. No.
Well, I mean,
yes, of course
he doesn't listen to music very often, but I listen to. I used to listen to Gordon Lightfoot a lot.
Okay.
I
very
like the group Avalon. They were popular in the 80s and 90s, and I love any symphonic.
All right.
I absolutely adore Tchaikovsky's Fourth Symphony in F sharp minor.
Okay.
And which I'm really disappointed.
You know that one, right?
I'm familiar with it.
We've never played it in orchestra. You know, and things like I just go. I'll put on my when I go for walks. I put on my phone. I just put on Corelli, any Baroque stuff that I can just walk through. Yeah.
But
and I like the classical music, but most of my listening of that is in the car.
Okay.
And I've got satellite radio, and so I've got these satellite channels to choose from. And I used to listen to there's one called Symphony Hall that's you know. Mostly orchestral music.
What are you laughing at?
But
Okay, all right.
This isn't funny.
No, I'm not laughing
This is a serious
at you.
part of our discussion.
You got stuff running in my head. Go ahead.
But lately, I have gotten completely addicted to the 40s channel. 40s big band music.
I love big band music.
I love that music. I love it.
Pardon me, boy.
Yeah,
Is that the
all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
That's my
we're going to go see Manhattan Transfer.
So are we.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I love Manhattan Transfer.
Can't miss that.
Okay, now what I'm laughing at is this. See, I said earlier, my wife and I really like each other, great marriage, but we don't have a lot in common, particularly our style of music.
Oh, okay.
I'm Janis Joplin, Cream, acid rock. I mean, I'm listening to stuff on the radio. And I'll change it. She'll go, thank you. She likes Carole King and Bossa Nova.
Knew there was something I liked about Rosie.
You know,
I love Carole.
bubblegum music. It's a crazy thing. But I did one day I heard her singing Bobby McGee.
Oh.
And I said, okay, it's Bobby McGee, but she is doing a little Janis Joplin, so maybe she'll change it around.
There you go.
But okay, look, we got to take a break. I'm sorry. I could have talked to you guys for hours. But Street Talk and other stuff, talking with Ron and Jeanne Lodge. Great couple, great people here. We're very, very blessed to have them in Wenatchee. But we got to take a quick break, but we will come back. So Street Talk and other stuff, you stick around. We will be back.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full-swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. Oh. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Okay, Ron and Jeanne, hey, thanks very much for being here today, and thanks so much for being such a great part of this community.
Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Hey, Street Talk and other stuff. We will see you next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We're previewing the college football season this week on Sports Stars of Tomorrow. We'll be looking back on the features we've done with some of the biggest names in the country, including top quarterbacks Drake May and Caleb Williams. We'll also look at some impact transfers and talk about some freshmen to watch as well. That's all coming up next on Sports Stars of Tomorrow. Welcome to Sports Stars of Tomorrow. I'm Charles Davis. Football season is almost here, and today we're previewing the college season by looking back at some features we've done on some of the best players in the country.